What are your crimes, Mark? Yes, what are your crimes, Mark? Did you beat your wife? Did you kick a pup? Well, find your crimes or make it up. Did you laugh at Hubbard? That's not nice, so now you'll have to pay your price. So what are your crimes, Mark? What have you done? Oh, it's too late now. Fair game's begun.
No crimes here. I'm sorry. I'm a clean living boy. And because of that, I occasionally get asked to do interviews. And this one we're going to listen to tonight features a woman that I used to love watching on TV. And we'll get to that in a bit. But I just wanted to say hello to everyone. We're here at Xenu TV. We're at the intergalactic headquarters of Xenu TV, broadcasting throughout this entire sector of the galaxy, as everybody knows. And I appreciate everyone showing up here. Kay is here. Kay says hello. And Love Maddie is here, waving as always. What are my crimes? You got to hunt them down yourself. Go to it, Kay. Ivar VD Heidi. Oh, it'd be nice if this was my friend Heidi out in L.A. Hello, Mark. Hello to you. There's a very talented woman in L.A. that started following my videos, and then I started following hers. And if by all means, I mean, if things were right in this planet, we'd be married right now. But it's not in the cards. I guess there's, other guys out there. Tony rather. I'm sorry, Tony Hoban. Hey, Mark. Hi, chat. Heidi, hi, says Kelly. JB808 is here. How about that? Hello, JB808. I'm charging it up right now. I'm considering trying a live stream tomorrow. There's a town hall here in Clearwater where folks can come and talk on any topic. So I plan to go, and I'll tell you more about that later. But if possible, I'll give it a shot and see if I can live stream the thing tomorrow, because the city is not actually offering any live stream or videotaping it at all. There'll be somebody there taking minutes of the meeting, but that's no good. Come on. We want to see and hear it. So I probably can get you video of it. I'm not sure how good the sound quality would be, though. So I'm going to have to test the mic and check to see if that's feasible. But if it is, it's all because of JB808, people. Bow down before him. Let's see. And Battles. Hi, Mark. I've been watching you since the very beginning. How about that? I was born in 1956. Were you there in the delivery room? Kind of creepy. You've been here the whole time, and I haven't noticed you. Well, I'm glad you're here, Anne, and keep watching. JB808 says it would be awesome to have a stream. It would, and that will be what I dedicate tomorrow to. Kelly says JB808 rocks because Kelly is the keeper of all knowledge, and if she says JB808 rocks, he rocks. Armed Fisherman plans to be there at tomorrow night's town hall, says Michael Andreas. I'm not surprised about that. Seems like he wasn't there at the last meeting I attended, but there seemed to be a lot of his followers there. Stasia Flones says, hey, Kelly BC, and I'm sure that's a hey to me as well, and hey to all you folks out there. So everybody, let's all say hi. Hey back. Hey. Not that far back. Okay, so you weren't there for my birth. That's good to know. Because I would want to see pictures. I would think if you're there in the delivery room, there'd be a photo of you maybe weeping with joy at the very sight of the young wise beard man. Kay has a question from Mike. Mike, are you there? I can tell you, I can answer it. So I'll answer a question about my old videos, not about Mike's. I haven't seen those. You uploaded the video of 2 Scientologist protesters that showed up at your house decades ago. So we are talking about my videos. Yes, that's Dee and Dan Mernon. What happened to them? I've been binge watching my stuff recently. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're jumping in there and taking a look at the history of the Xenu TV channel. That was right when, well, Xenu TV was born. Because for a year I had tried to hide my name and did not show up at protests, but it was posting on alt religion Scientology as first Ben Wog, and then I gave myself a doctorate and became Dr. Benjamin Wog. And then shortly before they came to my house to protest me, I did start showing my face. Bob Minton and Stacy Brooks invited me to a cult conference at the beginning of that year, 99. And then on L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, I took my camera over to L. Ron Hubbard Way and to the Celebrity Center and started filming some of the protests there. And a couple nights later, Saturday was the big one in LA. And then Sunday, I went with one protester out to Gold. And we shot some video there and were followed out there. And then the next day is when Dan Mernon and Dee showed up at my house and had leafleted the neighborhood saying, "Beware your neighbor. Mark Bunker is not who he pretends to be," something like that. And they had a very scary picture of me, not the adorable type of image most people would take. For some reason, they got something to put up there. I don't know how it happens because I always have a smile on my face. So Dan is still in Scientology. I don't know about Dee. I haven't heard from him in a number of years now. But Dan lives now not terribly far away from me, maybe 10 blocks away here in Clearwater. And we have yet to get together for lunch, although I'm open to that. Bob and... Oh, where'd that go? Come on, show it. That's what I was trying to do. Stasia Flonez says, Bob and Stacy, the old guard dynamic duo. Yes, indeed. It was a great joy to get to know them and to work with them. And Kelly thinks I should still send him a pizza. You know, I'd rather send myself a pizza. I haven't had a pizza in a while. And Battle said, loved your Jason Begay interviews. He really let you know how Scientology can mess up your head. Yeah, that first interview I did with him, that's a couple hours long, that continues to be the most popular video on the channel. And you would think, well, why didn't everybody watch me singing If I Were a Rich Man from Fiddler on the Roof? Wouldn't that be the #1 video? Apparently, they want to watch Jason Begay talk about Scientology and how it ruins people's lives. Okay, all right, I hear you. To each his own. But there's also video of me hosting Mickey's Nutcracker on the Disney Channel. You'd think that would be #1. But no, Jason Begay video is a terrific video, and people are commenting on it every single day. I have been so impressed by the great production of your older videos. I cannot believe I just started watching them. You truly are an OG protester. Well, I mean, part of that is due to Bob Minton getting me a nice camera. I had a pretty professional camera that I was using from 99 until, I think somewhere around 2010 is probably when I I had to sell it at one point because the woman that I was involved with lived way, way north of me, and she suddenly had a cancer scare. So I needed to get a ticket. I sold the Minton Cam. But that camera had it was standard definition, and it had kind of fallen behind the times. So I wound up getting an HD camera after that. But yeah, I mean, it helped enormously having a good quality camera. And I can't say that I was a professional photographer, but I thought I had a fairly good sense of how to frame picket footage, and stuff like that. Still, not the best at lighting interviews. And I didn't realize when I started doing this that now there's all of these great videos on YouTube about how to properly light. So even when I was touring the country doing videos, in every sector of the states, I was slapping up some lights there, and sometimes it looks really nice, and sometimes it's but it's acceptable. So it's just hunt and peck type of video production as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, I watch a lot of movies and stuff like that, so I kind of picked up what I needed to pick up. Did I ever? Boom. JB808 says, did I ever clip the "If I Were a Rich Man" video? Got to look for it. Yeah, it's on the channel. It's you just have to search for Mark Bunker, "If I Were a Rich Man." Boom, it pops up like that. Boom, like that. Stasia has been having a ball checking out my videos from the past. It's sad the cult is still strong in spots. Yeah, but it's spots. It's spotty. And I got to tell you, there's been enormous progress in getting information out there on the web. And the internet is Scientology's Waterloo, which has been said for many decades now, but it's true. It's very difficult for them to get new members, but they do have a lot of old wealthy members still forking over the money so they can build the big, beautiful L. Ron Hubbard Hall right here in downtown Clearwater. Oh my God, that's going to be disgusting. And today in the email, I got an image. Why don't we take a look at that? Got an image of what the hall is now envisioned to look like. And apparently Miscavige presented this image at a recent event. So here's the lovely, lovely scene. You got the flag building over here on the left side of your screen. I don't think you can see my mouse moving around on the screen. Can you? Somebody let me know if you can. But then we've got this giant, majestic L. Ron Hubbard Hall over on the right side with L. Ron Hubbard's name right there for everyone to see. L. Ron Hubbard Hall, bowling alley, museum, bistro, massage parlor for Travolta. It's just going to be a massive, spectacular place to be if you're allowed in, which I won't be. And then we've got the absolutely beautiful Way to Happiness courtyard here with the 21 precepts that L. Ron Hubbard put together because he said 10 commandments, I can do better than that, and he came up with his own. And some of it, I got to tell you, some of it's pretty lazy. Instead of "thou shalt not kill," he just writes down, "Hey, don't murder anybody." Okay, well, it's good advice, but really, okay. There you go. Whatever you say. But that's, it certainly looks gorgeous, and I can see why council member, what is his name again? The guy who, oh, this is so frustrating. And the guy who took over my seat, who was raving about how beautiful this L. Ron Hubbard Hall is going to be, and if the people of Clearwater could just see the video that they made showing this, oh, people would be so excited about the L. Ron Hubbard Hall coming. No, it doesn't work that way. Not at all. And you can see in the artist drawing here that there are no people anywhere in the park. And I think that is a very realistic depiction, because probably there never will be anybody in the park. Ryan Cotton, thank you, Kelly. I saw a C, I tell you. But I couldn't get that R. And if I had had the R, I would have had the whole thing. Oh, for God's sakes, trust me. And you can see now in the old images they had for the hall, Garden Street still went through, so you could drive up it, even though Scientology wouldn't let you. But it looks like now you can only enter on one side. So there's a street between the SP building, or the Superpower building, and the L. Ron Hubbard Hall. That will soon be named Lisa McPherson Way. So you'll have to drive up Lisa McPherson Way, and then you can turn into what is now Garden Street, and they've got a little roundabout so you can drop off all of the wealthy celebrities before going and heading over to a bar to get a drink and try to forget that you ever approached the L. Ron Hubbard Hall. Okay, so there's a pretty picture now, and I think I've done my job of telling you just where am I? There I am. Boom, big two. I'm a big guy. Here I am. Yes, massage parlor for Travolta, very important. We heard years and years ago when the LMT was open from maybe one or two massage therapists who had some stories to tell. He was very upset that his regular masseuse was not there. Let's see. Stasia says nobody is excited to see the hall except little baby Davy of the fake Space Navy. I like that. I don't know anyone else who would find it appealing. Well, Ryan Cotton, right there. Councilmember Ryan Cotton, I'm sure will be there for the ribbon cutting and probably do a presentation on stage welcoming everybody on behalf of the city of Clearwater to the beautiful, majestic L. Ron Hubbard Hall, the death knell of downtown Clearwater. And Kelly, she's just, I'm here trying to fill you with information, and all she wants to do is pimp for the channel. Hey, but she's got a point, though. Want to join Bunkinetics and have access to private uploads? Got to do more of those. Link to subscribe, gift, or sign up for memberships. Very solid advice, and I have to say I'm ashamed of myself for being so hard on Kelly, because I like what she's saying. And I hope she never stops saying it. Oh, and there she is, right there, saying welcome. Everybody hit that like on your way in. Kay is here. Hello, Kay. Kay is wondering, what are your crimes? That addressed to me, because I have no crimes. Didn't we already say hi? But hello to you, Ivar Vidi Heidi. Oh, oh, look at this. CO Bilf. Hello from Fairbanks, Alaska. Hello to you. You look an awful lot like Elf. Elf, I remember enjoying that TV series when it first came on. I don't know that I care for it as much nowadays, but no, I won't go. I had a story that I'll keep private about the premiere of Elf. What is Demas going to think about me wanting to run off with Heidi? I think, it just might be the thing that will get Demas here pounding on my door, asking for forgiveness. And, if Heidi is not available, I could settle for Mary. She had her chance, but, Oh, so this is way back. I think now JB808 is saying, ooh, that would be awesome. So I assume that's when you're talking about doing the live stream. Oh, yep. I recognize a lot of these. Anne says she has been following since the Lisa McPherson videos and also when I was working with Anonymous. Mark, says Kay. Changing that simply to Mark with a butthole behind it. Anne says, I don't say much, but I watch a lot. Well, that's good. Keep watching. Kelly says, typos are my favorite. Well, I have to admit, I kind of like it. Dan Mernan and D was the other guy who was there. Just gave his initial D. I don't know if his name was like Sandra D, and it was spelled out D-E-E. But when I asked him on camera or his name, he said D. Oh, wow. I went way, way back here with these comments. Huh. Anne asks, I missed it if you said it before, but am I going to run for office in Clearwater again? Well, that's possible. Who knows? By the time the election rolls around next year, I'll be close to 90. So I have to factor that in. But it's possible. Yeah, it's going to I have to see first whether there's still going to be a country around a year from now. If humanity has not perished or we're not all hiding in bunkers, which might be a good campaign slogan for me, get out of the bunkers and vote for Bunker. It's possible. So, yeah, I'm definitely considering it. I would like to get back on the council and try to make a difference. If I had been on the council instead of Ryan, it would have been 3 against selling Miscavige the street. So there's that. Hey, Mark, I know you said you are learning more about video editing. I was wondering, have you thought about thumbnail editing? I know you've done some AI thumbnails on a few videos. Yes, and I was happy with my thumbnail for this video. I spent more time putting that together than I did putting the video together. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Let's see if I've got that on the computer here. I think I do. Yeah, there we go. So in case you didn't see it before coming in, Come on, go back there. This is the thumbnail I came up with for tonight. Janine Turner interviewed me back in 2013, and I love Northern Exposure. She was Maggie on Northern Exposure, and even though she is a right-wing person, that's not stopping me from talking to Janine Turner, and I'm glad she was happy to talk to me. You were going to hear that shortly, but Northern Cult Exposure is the name of this video. And look, I got a moose back there. And I tried, I spent a lot of time trying to take a picture of Maggie and Joel, where they're, kind of huddled together and out in the winter weather. And there was love on both of their faces. I couldn't get it to blend together. So I finally said, this will do. So yeah, I do that. I know there's things that are pretty standard now for thumbnails, a lot of that type of stuff. I'm not opposed to it. And I'm always learning and trying new things. And Kelly says, I don't think thumbnails make much of a difference if I watch something or not. Well, Kelly is a logical, reasonable woman, and this is the only type of people I hire. My God, and when I look at the payroll of this channel, I'm spending a lot of money to get the best, and Kelly's the best. So what she says goes. And Kay says, not trying to be rude just because I was suggesting some of your videos in the past, but the thumbnails didn't reel me in the beginning. Well, that's the thing. I eventually got you. You wound up here. And hopefully you're finding, even without an amazing thumbnail, the old guy who's now 94, he's still got it. He's still rolling along here. Moose on the Loose is here. Moose, hey, in a tribute to you, I put you in the thumbnail. There you go. Nice to see you. The little kid from Elf passed away last year. Yeah, and but the one that really amazes me is the dad on Elf. I mean, the guy who had, a heroin addiction? And you never think this is like mousy type of character was quite a partier. So people are excited to see Moose here. Hey, Moose. Hi, Moose. And I just like having a chance to say, Uncle J Moose. Yeah. Kelly has missed a lot of my birthdays. She doesn't realize. Look at this guy. I'm amazed that I can still get out of the wheelchair and get in here. Oh, I had buttons to push. Oh, what I got to do? Oh, this is it. How come that's not coming up? I pushed it. It says show. I'm pushing show. Look at this. See, this is what happens when you get old. Oh, there you go. Now I pushed it. Now I've pushed it like 10 times and it finally came up. Gina Marie says, I thought you were in your 70s, Mark. There's a lot of disinformation out there. I am not in my 70s. That I can tell you for sure. A fight is breaking out between Kay and Kelly. Kelly, yeah, it's different for everyone. But a lot of the popular YouTubers say your thumbnail is like a billboard to your video. And if you package it good, it's more likely to get more views and more awareness. And that is correct, Kay. You are absolutely correct. And Kelly is, Kelly's hard to please. But Kay says, I just feel like Mark's videos are so good, but I wanted to attract as many people as possible. Well, what you can do is tell people, hey, have you checked out Mark's videos? Send them a link. Get them watching. So that's good advertising too. And that word of mouth is what's brought me this far. So we got 40,000 people here. We don't have 2 million yet. But I did see just a few days ago that piece finally is up on the website of Tommy McGee, and he came to Clearwater and caused a stir here among the orgs. And then went to L.A. and shot some more there. Kelly, you should look up that video. I forgot all about mentioning that. But I make a small appearance in it. I helped usher him around the area and tell him a little bit about Scientology. Tommy, I think it's MC, capital G-E-E. He's got 2 million subscribers, and his thumbnails, I'm sure, are spectacular. If they're not, well, this is just going to prove you wrong, Kay. But I bet they're spectacular. Fat Grammy says, Mark, I am from Alaska. If you have any northern exposure questions, not really. I mean, I enjoyed the show. I'm happy that it's out there for people to see on, I don't know if it's Amazon. I've had a copy of it for a long time. Don't visit it as often as I do Moonlighting. I can rewatch Moonlighting repeatedly. I greatly enjoy that show. Oh, there. See? She did see this video thumbnail, and that's why she came. So you're right. Thumbnails are very important. Rockstar Gran, I love Northern Exposure. We still watch it at home often. Yes, and that's why, I was very thrilled when Janine Turner invited me on her show. And we had a really nice discussion that we're going to listen to as soon as I stop babbling. And she put me on her Christmas card list. I used to get all sorts of stuff from her, but every year for several years, I got a Christmas card from her and her daughter. I just found out looking at her info online before starting up this live stream tonight that she has never been married. She does have a daughter she's very proud of and made her part of the business. And so all those Christmas cards have her and her daughter. I've fallen off that list, unfortunately. Maybe because I never sent her a card. I'm not sure. So I guess I dropped the ball. And I just noticed a little tidbit about her just as she was getting or got the nod that there's a Northern Exposure, there's an audition for it, she had been engaged to Alec Baldwin, which is surprising. And maybe that's why she is such a staunch Republican now. But they had a bad breakup, and she was running around New York trying to sell the ring so that she could pay her rent. And then they said, "Hey, come and try out for Northern Exposure." So that changed her life. Changed my life too, because I got to watch it and I enjoyed it. Not as big of a change to my life as it was to hers, but I appreciated watching it. Fractured Fairy Tales was my favorite part of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Certainly a lot of fun. I also enjoyed Peabody. What is it? Simon and Peabody? Something like that. But come on. Bullwinkle was my favorite part. Bob Newhart was addicted to heroin? No, Bob Newhart wasn't the dad on Elf. No, somebody would do a little research, find out the guy's name. I have a hard time even remember. Oh, Sherman and Peabody was the name of that cartoon. So I'm definitely not going to remember the name of the dad. But he's got quite a story to tell. I'm not sure if he's still around. You hit 40,000. Are we at 40,000 now? We were at 40,000, then we dropped back a little bit. So if we're at 40,000 subscribers, thank you so much, all of you. And I'm glad you love the thumbnails. That's what did it. I was languishing there at 39.86. But I upped my thumbnail game and boom, we're over 40,000 again. Oreo Ritz says, Mark, this past weekend I saw a thrift store selling Scientology books. And that's not unusual, because normally as soon as those books come in, whoever is gifted them, and this often goes out to libraries, they'll get Scientologists will be forced to pay money to send out free copies to libraries and journalists and all that, and they just either get sold in the bargain bin at the library. Here, come buy a book for $0.25, or they'll put them on eBay, which is how I got when they were selling. I don't have it near me anymore, but they released the only color film footage of Hubbard doing a Congress, and that was put out on DVD in this big, huge box set. And they were selling it as it debuted for like $260, something like that, to Scientologists. Oh, you better get two. Get a copy for you and one to give away. I bought it for, I think, $8, brand new, shrink wrapped on eBay. So yeah, those things find their way into the real world. Do you folks mind that I'm spending so much time looking through all of these comments? Erie Forever. Mark, I love your style. Not taking sides is not playing into their hands. No truer words. When's the city council meeting? It's in the middle of May is when they're going to be voting on that again. But tomorrow night is the town hall where folks can talk about that and talk about anything that they'd like. JB808 never watched Northern Exposure, but remember the theme song? Well, it's not too late to start watching. And I tell you what, you listen to this interview with Janine Turner, you're going to say, oh, I got to watch that show. I mean, if Mark says the show's good and she's terrific, after hearing her saying nice things about Mark, wow, it's a no-brainer. We got to watch Northern Exposure. Moonlighting, such a great show. I'm glad that's finally out there on a streaming service as well. And it's one that I think is eminently rewatchable. It is so much fun. And having watched it when it was on, it got dumped on so much because they kept having so many fights and they kept falling behind in production. So they never delivered as many episodes as they promised the network, and they'd be late with them. And then they started making fun of themselves in the opening segments. Okay, it's a rerun again tonight because, we can't stop bickering. And it was wonderful that they kept, breaking that fourth wall. Kelly says, better hit that like, everyone, before Marcy starts bossing you around. Well, there's a backstory there, I'm sure. All right. To support Mark. Oh, see, I was going to say, well, we've had enough of the comments now. I've been reading comments for, good God. I've been doing this for 41 minutes. I want to thank you all for sticking around as I'm babbling away here. But as long as you're here, you can go to Venmo or PayPal or the Cash App or buy me a coffee and kind of help keep the thing rolling here. Max Wright, there you go. Max Wright, that's the dad actor. Thank you, JB808, always on top of everything. Yeah, passed away in 2019, not a moment too soon from what he was doing to his body. Surprised he made it that long. Did I attend the memorial? No, I did not, unfortunately. I had a chance to have lunch with Tony Ortega, and Spanky Taylor was here. We went to a nice Mexican restaurant, and Mark Fisher joined us. A couple more folks. Then we went down to the park and saw the Mike Rinder bench that Leah donated. Apparently, somewhere in the last 40 minutes, I got to Kay. So saying, stop it. It was the thumbnail and you that got me to watch. Okay. I think, I think probably everybody else is just saying, hey, Mark, shut up and play the interview. Why don't you? Come on, just play it. Oh, but I do want to mention this. Rochelle gifted a Xenu TV membership. Bless you. Bless you. That's wonderful. Thank you. And Tony deserves to rest. You go ahead. Tony, if you have to go, you go. I got 3 hours of sleep last night. And I'm ready for another 24 hours awake because I'm on the Sea Org schedule. Okay. Marcy, thank God Marcy likes my babbling. And she's speaking for all of you, saying that we all like your babbling, Mark. Or Wise Beard Man. All right. So, hey, why don't we listen to this this interview? Okay. And I have to say that, again, Janine Turner and I are on opposite ends of the political spectrum, although I still would be happy to marry her. She's got a lovely daughter. I'm sure I could be a good granddad to her kids. Anyway, Let's not waste any more time, because that's what I'm best at, really wasting time. And let's go back to 2013 when Janine had me on the show.
The Janine Turner Show, All American Common Sense on KPRC AM 950, Houston's more stimulating talk radio. All right, have you heard about the actress Leah Remini leaving Scientology? Now, this is a big. Well, it's very gutsy for her to do this. The consequences could be dire for her. I was an actress in Hollywood and was surrounded by acting coaches and whatnot that were Scientologists, and I've been privy to what they try to do to the minds, especially of the vulnerable. You know, actors are pretty vulnerable, especially when they're younger. And now to speak with us about this is Mark Bunker. He's an Emmy award-winning journalist, and he's written many pieces and a specialist on Scientology. Mark, welcome to the Janine Turner Show.
Janine, it's a great pleasure to be on with you, and I'd love to hear some of the stories of your encounters over the years.
Well, you know, my encounters with Scientology I was about, let's see, how old was I? I moved out there when I was 17, so I was probably about 18 years old, and 18 through 20 ish, and I was in an acting class there, and
was it by any chance the Beverly Hills Playhouse?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. This was a major recruiting place, or it was.
Oh, yes.
Milton Casellas was.
Yes, 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 and it was.
Recruiter.
Well, the things that I experienced there, and I always thought they were so strange. It's like if you couldn't make it one day, you know, I think I had to go every day or 2 days a week or something. You had to have a note from somebody, like a note from the doctor or whatever. I said, okay, I'm an adult. I'm like 20, you know, and I don't really understand why I have to bring a note to you. And then if you didn't feel good and you wanted to leave, they took you in a corner and tried to talk you out of it. Like, let's take your brain and why don't you think, if you don't really have a headache, you know, you don't really have a stomach ache. Let's take, and they would try this thought process stuff with me. And then they would really try to work to get your inner secrets. They really never got mine, but they would try to get up there and the critiques afterwards when actors performed and then sat down, the critiques were always about their personal lives and going really, really deep. And I remember Mary Crosby was in our class, Bing Crosby's daughter, and she was in a scene, and he made her stand on that stage and sing. And she didn't want to sing because her dad had been a famous singer, and he made her sing, and she just dissolved into tears. A lot of weird stuff went on there.
Yeah, and the man who was your teacher, Milton Casellas, he was a devoted follower of Scientology for most of his life and recruited a ton of people into Scientology. And by the way, it's really interesting. The people who recruit another member in, they actually get 10% of everything that any Scientologist buys from then on in Scientology. So it can be very lucrative if you were to sign, you know, if you got signed up, and then all of your Northern Exposure money and everything that you did afterwards, they'd get a cut of, well, not of your paying gigs, but the money that you would be paying them for your courses. The recruiter like Milton would get quite.
How is Milton still alive?
Milton died. Well, this is why I wanted to bring him up. He died recently, and
really?
Before he died, he left Scientology.
And really?
All of those people inside Scientology turned against him. And he was in really, really bad shape for health. And he got no help from his friends at the church, which is really a shame.
Wow, what a shame.
Yeah.
Well, so now we're speaking with Mark Bunker. How did you become the expert on Scientology?
Well, this is something that I've been looking into since the late 90s, and I was just curious about it. And the more I found out about it, the more intrigued I was by this story, which it is so over the top, so unbelievable, and yet it's happening here in America and across the country. Scientology is this, it's considered to be a religion. I think of it as a religiously themed business because what they're doing is selling you this increasingly expensive series of self-help courses, trying to make you a better person. They have courses to help you have a better relationship, do better with your wife or your kids, or make more money in your business. It's all about you, essentially, in the beginning. And you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's a fascinating aspect right there in itself. But then on top of this business, they have all of these really negative things that they do to people who speak out against them. They are, as they say, not a turn the other cheek type of religion. They actively go out and try to ruin you if you speak out about them, which is one thing that, Leah Remini has to worry about now. Because
yeah, well, let me ask about that. Because what I've heard, is that they get, and I've never succumbed. Okay, I left the acting class, and I feel for Milton Casellas, who tried to leave and died. I feel for him very, very much so. But I left the whole organization. I thought, this is just very strange. And I remember one time they all stood up and turned against me in this class. Everybody stood up and turned against me. I'm like, what's this? You know what I mean? It must have been because I wasn't following the Scientology pattern. And I was devastated. I finally just left. But anyway, people get in and promising, from what you're saying, Mark Bunker, promising them that things are going to be great. We're talking about Scientology and we're going to help you. And then they get their secrets from these people. And then they've got them. In other words, we will expose you if you try to leave. And what's interesting to me is there seems to be some actors, and I'm not going to name names, okay, Mark, but there seem to be some actors or rumors I've heard in Hollywood for years that are gay, and they go into these organizations and suddenly they have wives and children, but they never can get out of it. And I'm wondering what sort of secrets that how do they manipulate their minds? And intimidate them for freedom.
There are tons of thought control processes built into Scientology from the very get-go. And these are things that you won't recognize when you're in, because you're actively stopping your thoughts. You won't think about the negative things because it will only get you into trouble. They have...
I always discover that I'm not really answering the questions that they really want to know. Like, she's desperately trying to get me to talk about blackmail material and why I didn't go into the fact that you're going in a confessional and you're on the meter. You're talking about the most, everything about your life that gets recorded and written down and used as blackmail against you. So, Janine, I'm sorry I didn't hit that point. But I did want to just pause to talk a little bit more about Milton Casellas's class at the Beverly Playhouse. The wife of one of my high school and college buddies, and then we were roommates for many years in L.A. He married this wonderful woman, very talented woman, who is not a Scientologist, but she studied at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. And I believe she was the ethics officer for her class. And she had lent me the class, what do you call that? Well, it's, the course book, which was something that Milton put together. And it's all, like typed stuff. It's not any, published tome or anything, but there were a lot of interesting things in it. It was Scientology based, of course, but I was surprised to see that he was okay with experimenting with, especially marijuana. It's good for actors to be, experiencing these things, and so that that was shocking to me, but it was very interesting to see how he ran the class, and I'm happy that I got Janine to open up about her experiences, because I think there was a lot of interesting stuff there. Now, back to me babbling about control issues in Scientology.
The main thing that they do in Scientology, and what the Scientologists really crave more than anything else, is what they call auditing, which is like a therapy session. And this is primarily what you're doing inside Scientology. You're sitting down with a therapist who they call an auditor, and you are dealing with troubling incidences from your life. So you'll sit down. They have a device which they call an e-meter, which is like a very rudimentary lie detector. You're holding a couple of soup cans hooked up to this device, and there's a needle that the auditor is looking at to see the reaction of the needle. So they'll be asking you questions about your past. Maybe you'll go in to talk about, oh, my dad beat me when I was 5. And there'll be a reaction on the needle. And they'll say, well, let's talk about that. So they want you to go over that experience over and over and over, remembering all the details of that particular incident until they've removed any of the trauma from that incident and the needle floats. It's not showing a reaction. They believe that these incidences are recorded in your mind in a little recording that they call an engram. So when your dad hit you, maybe at that moment there was a dog barking outside, and there was the smell of dinner cooking on the stove. And you don't even think about those things, but years and years later, you'll hear a dog bark and you'll have a panic attack. Not necessarily because the dog is threatening, but you'll be reminded of subconsciously of this incident, or you'll smell something that was cooking at that time when you were 5, and it will make you feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to find all of these stimuli and clearing them out of your system so that you can move forward and be a free person, free of all these past traumas.
But then we're speaking with Mark Bunker. He's a television journalist who won an Emmy Award in 2006, and we're talking about Scientology. So, but then it becomes let's talk in a few minutes we have left here about the danger of what starts to happen, how people get trapped. Now, Leah is out, and Tom Cruise's first wife left. Nicole Kidman left,
Nicole, yeah.
and the other wife left. Tell me her name again. Can't remember her name.
Geez.
His second wife. What's that?
Yeah.
We both blanked on her name. Oh dear. Okay, so she left. And recently, why did they leave? Why did the most recent wife leave as well? It was a little more unclear, but it seems like it was a pretty drastic break, a pretty quick break, and right. It seems like she was holding some things over on him, and I don't know, it just seems a little odd.
They've never really given an interview about exactly why they left. But it was interesting. In Nicole Kidman's case, Tom Cruise dumped her, and so her life was devastated when I think it was like the week before their 10-year anniversary.
So he broke that off.
Yeah, he said the only thing he said it about is Nicole knows what she did, and so. That was the end of their relationship.
Huh. But they didn't talk about it much. But now Leah wants to come out and talk, and she's talking about the head guy. And let's talk about the negative aspects. So we kind of talked about what they try to do. Then that's sort of interesting in the beginning. But let's talk about how people get trapped. And if Leah, I just wonder if Leah's in danger here. I mean, the head guy. She was questioning the owner or the head guy, the CEO, whatever, Scientology. He hides his wife or something. He won't let his wife be seen. And Leah was wondering where his wife was, and then she was silenced. What's going on there?
Well, David Miscavige is the fellow who's the current leader of Scientology,
mm-hmm.
and he took over when L. Ron Hubbard died back in '86, and he has absolute and utter control of Scientology, every little aspect of it. He is micromanaging, and he is, and many people consider him a psychopath. He's got this enormous temper. He's screaming at people. He's physically hitting people on staff. And I've interviewed plenty of people who have actually been punched and thrown to the floor and pummeled by the guy. It's pretty
mm-hmm.
amazing that this mm-hmm. is a religious leader. Anyway, when Leah went to Tom Cruise's wedding to Katie Holmes, there we go. We
remembered, right.
So Leah's there, and she sees that David Miscavige is not with his wife, Shelley. And she, asks, well, where's Shelley? And this caused a lot of trouble. Leah thought it was odd that, Miscavige is there and his wife isn't. So she just, asked where he was. And that got her into a lot of trouble. The spokesperson for the organization at that time, Tommy Davis, told her at the party, you don't have the bleeping rank to even ask that question.
You wonder how his wife is. I mean, where's his wife?
So that, that started the ball rolling. She started to question a lot of stuff, and there, apparently she saw a lot of grab ass from David Miscavige and another woman and other top executives. So she went home and sat down and wrote what they call a knowledge report. And when you see something bad in Scientology, you are supposed to sit down and write a report and send it up lines to the authorities to say, this is what I saw on this date at this time. This person did this.
Yeah, talk about Big Brother.
This is one of the control mechanisms of the Scientology.
Right.
You don't really realize you're doing this. The important part for Scientology is to keep Scientology working. That's the most important policy in the church, keeping Scientology working. And part of that is write up reports when you see something that's done wrong. So husbands report on wives, wives report on husbands, your closest friends will write reports on you. That's one of the ways they keep you in line. Well, one thing that you discover in Scientology is you don't write reports about people who are, at the top of the chain. So that just got her in trouble. So she was asking about this, and she actually got hauled down to Clearwater, Florida, which is their spiritual mecca. And she thought she was going down there to do this, one of the highest levels in the bridge to total freedom, which is OT7, stands for Operating Satan 7. So she thought she was going down there to do this course. Instead, they locked her in a room for a couple of months and was grilling her on this e-meter, doing what they call a security check, a sec check.
Gosh, really frightening.
They're asking you all sorts of questions like, have you ever had a negative thought about L. Ron Hubbard? What have you done to hurt the church, essentially, is what they're asking you. So they're grilling her day after day after day, week after week to find out what she has done wrong. And in Scientology, you quickly learn that if something doesn't work for you in Scientology, it's your fault. L. Ron Hubbard said this: the tech that he created is perfect and flawless. If you do it exactly the way he says, you will get results.
Such a mind game. Hey, Mark Bunker, can we cut to break? Can you come back on the other side?
Sure.
Oh, great. Okay. So we're going to cut for break. We're speaking with Mark Bunker. He's a television journalist and Emmy Award-winning one in 2006. And he's talking with us about Scientology, giving us a scoop about Leah Remini. I still want to hear, we're just going to take a break and come back and talk about what's going on with her life in Scientology. The Janine Turner Show. We'll be right back. The Janine Turner Show, All-American Common Sense on KPRC AM 950, Houston's more stimulating talk radio. And we're certainly having a stimulating conversation with Mark Bunker. He's a television journalist and he's won an Emmy Award in 2006, and he specializes in Scientology. And we are having just a mesmerizing conversation about the Scientology and Leah Remini, who's trying to leave. Okay, so Mark, where we left off is Leah was going down thinking she was going to this sort of renewal thing, and they're quizzing her over and over and over with this lie detector test, and saying everything she's doing is wrong.
Right. They turn it around on you, and so if you say somebody in the church is doing something wrong, they'll say, well, what do you do to make you think that he did something wrong? You have a crime that we have to uncover. And for that grilling that she got for a couple of months, they charged her $300,000.
No.
You have to pay for these security checks. It's just insane.
Wow.
So it's an insane amount of money that goes into this. Now, Leah, if she hasn't specifically said anything about Scientology yet, except just kind of a thank you to the fans for showing support for her. What Scientology is hoping is that she never utters the word Scientology.
That's what I've noticed, Mark. I've noticed that when I'm researching, sort of, she's not really saying much. She just says, I'm not remaining silent. But she hasn't really, I was like, well, she hasn't really said much. Do you think she's going to?
I have a feeling, she's not a shrinking violet, so I have a feeling at some point she will. It depends on how much Scientology is going to push her. Now, her sister has gone.
But she left. She left, right?
Yeah. Her whole family has left Scientology, which is, I think, the saving grace for her, because what Scientology does is break up families. They have this policy called disconnection. So if Leah speaks out, then she becomes what they call a suppressive person, or an SP, which is the worst thing that you could do in Scientology. I mean, Hitler was an SP, and Leah will be an SP too if she says something bad about Scientology. So with disconnection, you lose all of your family and friends who want to stay in the good graces.
Yeah, and that's what she's saying. Leah's talking about the fact that our family is together. Our family is together.
Right. Which is amazing, and that's not the case for most families. There are a lot of families who, husbands and wives are separated. Parents can't see their kids. It's shameful, absolutely shameful. The pressure
it really is very frightening
on the members.
Very frightening. Well, we have a minute left. So, do you think her life is in danger here if she speaks out?
No, her life isn't in danger. They're not going to do anything physically to harm her. What they want you to think is that your life will be ruined without Scientology,
or the things that they make you think. That's why I think certain people can't leave. We're speaking with Mark Bunker. A lot of people can't leave is because they divulge secrets to them and they're blackmailed. They know if they leave that they're going to talk, and that's why they can't get out. Right.
Right. Well, there is that aspect to it. The first thing you do when you sign up in Scientology, you have to sit down and write out a complete description of every person that you ever had any physical contact with. I mean, any sexual relationship. I kissed this woman. We did this with this other woman. You have to. Wow.
So they really do. And I'm up against a hard break, Mark, but they really do have them blackmailed. Oh, Mark Bunker, I hope you'll come back. This is a fascinating discussion. We could just talk about this forever. The Janine Turner Show. Come back, Mark.
Well, wait a minute. What's going on here? Come on. Here I am. You push a button and you don't pop up. Here, okay. I would have been happy to come back. She never invited me back again, and I probably just lost my number. But I was happy that I had a chance to talk to her, and glad that she was interested and spilled the beans on her experiences there. And look at this. Hey, everybody. Let's all give some applause to Susie Alt for gifting 5 Xenu TV memberships. Thank you so much. And I did just take a break from listening to me yammer to Janine to check out my YouTube channel. And yes, we're back over 40,000. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. And if you haven't seen it yet, I do have, let me share the screen here. I do have the story from Tommy McGee up here. And I won't play the whole thing, but let me just come on. Share the screen. There we go. All right. Exposing America's most notorious cult. I don't think you need to know about Norton Webb. But here we go. Also, he encountered Pat Harney early in this.
How would you define Scientology? A family destroying human trafficking cult. When you die, it's just your body that died. You as a Thetan just jump into another body.
So I was born in Scientology.
fun stuff in it, a lot of interesting things. Let's at least get me back on the screen. There we go. So everything was so smooth sailing tonight until that. Man, the show was flawless. Kind of. At any rate, I've got a lot of radio shows that I uncovered, not just from when we discovered the big archive on the Internet Archive, but also I found on a hard drive that a lot of shows that I had previously put on the channel that I took down after there were tons of copyright notices, and I had lost my channel at one point over that. But now I love YouTube's new policy, which is, okay, if somebody else owns the copyright, we'll just put ads on it and let them get the money from it if that's what they want. And generally that's what happens. So I'm going to start rolling out some of those again. I do not have much more to chat about tonight, but I appreciate everybody being here. It has been a long day. And once this is the start of my third week of no air conditioning. So I'm going to try to get that rectified tomorrow. Wish me luck, everybody. When am I and Lara scheduling another chat? I don't know that we've got anything scheduled, but I did have fun chatting with her. No, still no air. Terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's not sharing the screen for me. But it's out there, so you can go and just watch it and enjoy it on your own. And of course, thank Kelly for all those wonderful links she keeps putting up. So I want to thank all 40,000 of you who I'm sure are watching right now. Now that we've got 40,000 members to the channel, I'm sure you're all out there just lurking. So thanks for dropping by. Oh, Marcy sent up a $10 super sticker. Thank you. How about that? I appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. Pause for Andrea. Thought it was a really interesting interview. Thank you. And I can't help it. Maggie, she's Maggie. She's Maggie, for heaven's sakes. And she also starred in, but the only movie I could think of that was a pretty big mainstream success was Cliffhanger, which was what Stallone film, I think. She was a helicopter pilot in that, and I remember it was a pretty decent film. But I saw she was also in Friday Night Lights, and I don't know if that's the movie version or the TV version. I haven't watched either, although I understand the TV version is terrific. A lot of really great actors, and so I plan to watch that at some point, even though I'm not a football fan. Apparently, you don't need to be to enjoy that show. At any rate, I'm tapped out, but it's been nice spending a little time with you here tonight, and I hope to see you all again soon. Maybe not tomorrow night. Tomorrow I'll try to do the live stream, and if that happens, that will be my contribution for the night, and it'll be exciting and it'll be wondrous, and it'll all be thanks to JB808. So wish me luck on that, and I will be back. I will be back again to talk, and I'll have some more fun stuff. And Haggis Basher says that the TV version is fantastic, and he's not Haggis Basher is not a football fan. And who's the woman who stars in that? Somebody's going to have her name. She was the wife in the show. And I first saw her in the first season of American Horror Stories. And I thought she is an absolutely amazing actress. And I have always tried to follow her. And that's why I have a copy of the entire Friday night series, Friday Night Football, whatever it's called. Yeah, she was also in Nashville. Yeah, I never watched that either, but I think she's absolutely spectacular. Connie Britton, thank you. I knew somebody would come up with it. Connie Britton is so incredible. So that in itself made me say, well, someday I'm going to watch Friday Night Lights. All right. So now we've got that on the record, and I'm going to bid you a fond farewell and try to sit under a fan for a while. All right. I hope you have a lovely night wherever you are, or if it's tomorrow morning, if you're in Australia, good day to you. And I will see you all again soon. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Xenu TV now ends its broadcasting day.
What are your crimes, Mark? Yes, what are your crimes, Mark? Your crimes are hidden, they should be seen. Spit all out, Mark, and just come clean.